This is a story about loyalty that transcended life itself. His name was Buddy, and for 12 years he was more than just a dog. James adopted Buddy on the day his wife passed away. They say grief brought them together, but love kept them together. Every morning, Buddy waited by the door at exactly 6 a.m. Their routine was sacred: walk to the park, coffee at the bench, home by 8. James would tell Buddy everything, and Buddy, well, he listened. The neighbors said James talked to that dog like he was human. Maybe he was. Maybe Buddy understood more than any of us knew. In the afternoons, Buddy would sleep at James's feet while he worked. Sometimes James would look down and wonder what he'd done to deserve such love. The truth is, they saved each other. On Buddy's 10th birthday, James baked him a special treat. He sang happy birthday. Buddy's tail never stopped wagging. James whispered, "I hope we have 10 more years, old friend." But life had different plans. James started having chest pains that winter. Buddy could sense something was wrong. Dogs always know. He stayed closer than usual, never left James's side. Even followed him to the bathroom. James joked about his furry shadow. But it wasn't a joke, Buddy knew. On February 14th, James collapsed in the workshop. Buddy barked until the neighbors heard. He saved James's life that day. The ambulance doors closed. Buddy watched it drive away. He had no idea this was just the beginning. James was in ICU, massive heart attack. The doctors said it was touch and go. His daughter Sarah came from across the country. She asked about Buddy. Where was the dog? The neighbor had tried to keep him, but Buddy had other plans. He ran 4 miles, straight to the hospital. No one knows how he knew where James was. But he found him. Security wouldn't let him in. Of course they wouldn't. So Buddy made a decision. He would wait. That was day 1. Sarah was told about the dog waiting outside. She went down to get him, but Buddy wouldn't leave. She brought food, water, a blanket. Buddy ate a little, but he never took his eyes off those doors. He was waiting for James to walk out. Inside, James was fighting for his life. Outside, Buddy was fighting too, fighting to stay. Day 2 became day 3. Day 3 became a week. The hospital staff started bringing him food. They set up a little shelter for him. One nurse said she'd never seen loyalty like that. Another said it was the most heartbreaking thing she'd ever seen. The local news caught wind of the story. Loyal dog waits outside hospital for owner. The headline went viral. Thousands of people followed Buddy's vigil online. Donations poured in: dog food, blankets, money for James's medical bills. But Buddy didn't care about any of that. He just wanted his James. Week 2, James opened his eyes. His first word was a name: Buddy. Sarah had to tell him. She showed him the news articles. James wept. He's still there after all this time. The doctor said James couldn't see visitors yet. Too weak, too risky. But they agreed to bend the rules, just this once. They would bring Buddy inside, but just for 5 minutes. Sarah went to get him. This time when she called his name, Buddy stood. She said the words, "You can see him, boy, come on." Buddy walked through those doors he'd been staring at for 3 weeks. The hospital staff lined the hallway. Everyone wanted to see this. Buddy's nails clicked on the linoleum, getting closer, closer. They reached James's room. The door was open. Buddy saw him. And James, weak as he was, smiled. Buddy didn't run. He walked slowly, carefully. He placed his head on the bed, right next to James's hand. James whispered, "Good boy, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." Buddy's tail wagged just a little, but it was enough. The nurses who watched said there wasn't a dry eye in that room. 5 minutes became 10, then 15. No one had the heart to separate them. Finally, they had to take Buddy back outside. James's hand reached out as Buddy left. "I'll see you soon, boy." It was a promise he believed he could keep. Buddy returned to his spot outside, but something had changed. He knew James was in there. He knew James knew he was waiting. That made all the difference. Days passed. James was improving, slowly but improving. Sarah visited Buddy every day with updates. "Dad's getting better, Buddy. He's asking about you constantly." Every Sunday, Buddy walked those halls. And every Sunday, James got a little stronger. The doctors said it was remarkable. His will to live was extraordinary. But they didn't understand. It wasn't will, it was love. James was fighting to get home to Buddy. And Buddy was waiting to make sure James had something to come home to. 6 weeks after the heart attack, the doctor said James could go home. Sarah ran outside to tell Buddy. "He's coming home, Buddy. Dad's coming home." Buddy barked, the first sound he'd made in 6 weeks. The hospital staff gathered to watch Buddy leave. After 42 days and nights, Buddy's vigil was over. They brought James home on a Tuesday morning. Buddy was waiting on the porch, right where he belonged. When James stepped out of the car, Buddy didn't rush. He walked slowly, carefully, just like at the hospital. James lowered himself to sit on the porch steps. And Buddy laid his head in James's lap. Finally, home. James buried his face in Buddy's fur and cried. "Thank you for waiting," he whispered. "Thank you for not giving up on me." Sarah took a photo, an old man and his dog finally together again. She posted it with the caption, "Love won." The story had a happy ending, or so everyone thought. For 3 beautiful weeks, they were inseparable again. Morning walks, coffee at the kitchen table, Buddy's head in his lap. Every night, Buddy slept beside James's bed. James would wake up and check. Yes, Buddy was still there. But James's heart was weaker than anyone knew. The damage from the heart attack was extensive. The doctors had given him a prognosis, 6 months, maybe a year. He didn't tell Sarah, he didn't tell anyone. Except Buddy, somehow Buddy knew. He started staying even closer, if that was possible. One morning, James didn't wake up for their walk. Buddy scratched at the door, then whimpered. Sarah, who was staying with them, heard and came running. James was unconscious, another heart attack, a massive one. The ambulance came, again. Buddy watched them take James away, again. But this time was different. Sarah called from the hospital. James was on life support. The doctor said there was no brain activity. He was already gone. Sarah had to make the hardest decision of her life. She called her neighbor. "Can you bring Buddy to the hospital? I think Dad would want Buddy there, at the end." Buddy was brought to the hospital one last time. He walked those halls again, but slower. When they reached James's room, Buddy stopped. He knew, dogs always know. Sarah lifted him onto the bed. Against the rules, but what did rules matter now? Buddy laid down next to James. He put his head on James's chest, the chest that was no longer beating on its own. Sarah stood at the foot of the bed, watching her father and his dog, together one last time. She nodded to the doctor. The doctor began turning off the machines. One by one, the beeping stopped. The breathing machine was the last to go. And then silence. Buddy lifted his head. He looked at James's face, then at Sarah. He knew. Buddy laid his head back down on James's chest, one last time. He stayed there for an hour. Sarah led him. The nurses came and went. Buddy didn't move. Finally, Sarah whispered, "We have to go now, Buddy." Buddy slowly stood. His legs were shaking. He looked back at James, one last look. Then he let Sarah lead him away. They drove home in silence. When they pulled into the driveway, Buddy didn't get out. He didn't want to go into that house without James. Sarah sat back down in the car. "I know, Buddy, I know." They sat there for 20 minutes, in the driveway, together in their grief. Finally, they went inside, to a house that felt too empty. Buddy went straight to James's chair. He sniffed it, then laid down beside him. Sarah brought him food he didn't eat. She brought him water he didn't drink. He just laid there, staring at nothing. The next morning, Buddy still hadn't moved. Sarah called the vet. "Is this normal? Should I be worried?" The vet said, "Dogs grieve too. Give him time, he'll eat when he's ready." But Buddy wasn't just grieving, he was giving up. Day 2, still no food, still no water. Sarah tried everything, treats, his favorite toys, nothing. She knew what was happening. Buddy was choosing to follow James. On the 3rd day, Buddy's breathing became labored. Sarah laid down beside him. "It's okay, boy, you can go to him. James is waiting for you. I promise he's waiting." Buddy's tail moved, just once, just a little. His breathing slowed, then softer, then. Buddy took his last breath and went to find his James. And then Buddy opened his eyes. But he wasn't on Sarah's floor anymore. He was in a meadow, the most beautiful meadow he'd ever seen. The grass was soft, softer than anything he'd ever felt. The air smelled like every good thing he'd ever known. And his body felt young again. No more aching joints, no more tired muscles. He felt like he was 3 years old again, full of energy, full of life. Other animals were there, dogs, cats, all kinds of creatures. They all looked healthy, happy, whole. Some greeted him, old friends from the dog park, from the shelter. But Buddy was looking for someone. His eyes scanned the meadow, the horizon, and then he saw him, standing there, right where the bridge began. James, looking younger, looking strong. Looking the way Buddy remembered him from years ago. Their eyes met across the meadow. And Buddy ran. He ran faster than he'd run in years. Faster than he'd ever run in his life. And James dropped to his knees, arms wide open. Buddy leaped into the arms that had held him for 12 years. The arms he'd been waiting for. James buried his face in Buddy's fur. "I waited for you, boy, I waited." Buddy's tail wagged so hard his whole body shook. He licked James's face, again and again. "Good boy," James whispered. "My good boy." For the first time since the hospital, Buddy felt complete. And James, who had been waiting on that bridge for 3 days, felt complete too. They stayed there for what felt like hours, neither wanting to let go. Finally, James stood. "Come on, boy, let me show you around." They walked together, side by side, just like always. The bridge beneath their feet shimmered with every color imaginable. And as they crossed, Buddy realized something. There was no more pain here, no more waiting. No more hospital steps, no more separation. Just James and Buddy, together forever. On the other side of the bridge, they found a house. It looked just like the house they'd shared on Earth, but better. There was James's workshop, complete with sawdust on the floor. And Buddy's favorite spot, right by James's feet. Every morning, they walked through the meadow. Coffee at the bench, just like always. Except now the coffee never got cold. And the walks never had to end. Sometimes Buddy would sit at the edge of the bridge. He could see Sarah, still missing them both. James would sit beside him. One day she'll cross that bridge too. And we'll be right here, waiting for her. Because that's what love does. It waits, it endures, it never ends. Buddy had waited 42 days for James. James had waited 3 days for Buddy. And now they would wait together for everyone they loved. Because beyond the rainbow bridge, Love never dies. It only waits for us to cross over and come home.